The top "I survived the Great Jackstand Crisis of 2020" shirt. But in most Western maps, GB is above the center of the map with most of the world fitting around it. Sometimes NZ isn't remembered though, which is disappointing. North and south are arbitrary. And the position of the anti-meridian is arbitrary. Everything else is the exact opposite of arbitrary. And this map went and changed everything else. From what I gathered, Alduin attacked after being thrown forward in time by the ancient words. He then spends time resurrecting the dragons north of Riverwood, and continues this around Skyrim until somewhere mid-questline where he travels to Sovngarde and begins eating souls until the fight on the throat of the world. Top "I survived the Great Jackstand Crisis of 2020" shirt. Tank top. V-neck ladies tee for men and women. V-neck. Tank top. It's not a coincidence. But you could still argue it's arbitrary in the sense that there's no natural line running there. Rather, it's entirely a human invention. The top "I survived the Great Jackstand Crisis of 2020" shirt. But the equator line would most likely have been exactly where it is regardless of which country happened to be a superpower, assuming the world still had the same general science. The big deciding factor would probably be which hemisphere the first people to start making and distributing maps were in. Not exactly. Only souls that make it into the hall are safe. It's possible to be in Sovngarde without being worthy of the Hall of Valor. It's entirely possible that Torrig has been stuck outside the hall for months because he's not worthy of entering the hall and only made it into Sovngarde on a technicality. Official top "I survived the Great Jackstand Crisis of 2020" sweatshirt. Hoodie. Hoodie. Sweatshirt. If Australia or South America had been the top "I survived the Great Jackstand Crisis of 2020" shirt, I feel he was trying to downplay just how impressive the PS5 is. I don't know why so many PC players feel the need to shit on modern much. There are some other new features. Unreal is free to use and doesn't cost a dime until you make more than 1 million from a game created with. It means that this sort of technology becomes more easily accessible to indie developers, amateurs and students, which is always a plus. Other product.